Have you ever felt like your life is stuck on pause? You've prayed. You've planned. You've done everything right, but nothing seems to move. Every door you knock on stays closed. Every opportunity that looks promising fades away. And deep inside, you start to wonder, God, did you forget about me? Let me tell you something powerful. God's delay is not denial. In fact, His delays are often the very path that leads you into destiny. When it feels like nothing is happening, that's when everything is actually taking shape behind the scenes. You see, delay is God's classroom. It's where He teaches patience, refines character, and builds a foundation strong enough to carry the future He's preparing for you. 1. God delays to protect you, sometimes. Delay is God's protection in disguise. There are doors that look good from the outside but lead to destruction on the inside. There are people who seem perfect right now, but a few months later could break you. God sees what you can't. He's blocking certain paths not because you're unworthy, but because you're not ready or they're not ready. Think about Joseph. He had the dream but not yet the discipline. He saw the throne but not yet the test. If Joseph had stepped into power too soon, his pride could have destroyed what his purpose was meant to sustain. So when you face delay, don't panic. Sometimes the very thing that feels like rejection is actually God's redirection. He's not holding you back. He's holding you together until the right season arrives. On delay builds depth. We often want speed, but God is more interested in stability. You can grow fast or you can grow strong, rarely both at the same time. When a tree's roots grow deep underground, it looks like nothing is happening. But when the storm comes, that unseen depth is what keeps it standing. That's what God is doing in your delay. He's building your depth. You may not see progress, but He's deepening your faith, stretching your endurance, and anchoring your trust so you won't collapse when success finally comes. The waiting room is never wasted. It's the place where warriors are built quietly, away from applause, away from spotlight, where only God's voice is enough. 3. Delay tests. Obedience. Everyone obeys when blessings flow. But can you obey when heaven feels silent? That's the real test. Abraham waited decades for a promise. David was anointed king but spent years hiding in caves. Jesus waited 30 years before starting His public ministry. Delay doesn't cancel destiny. It qualifies you for it. In delay, God isn't checking your schedule. He's checking your heart. Can you trust Him when it makes no sense? Can you still serve, still pray, still believe when you see no evidence that things are changing? Because obedience in delay proves that your faith isn't built on outcomes. It's built on relationship. 4. Delay aligns. Divine timing, God's timing is perfection, and that perfection includes the pause. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Notice, it doesn't say in your time, it says His. While you're waiting, God is arranging.
He's aligning people,
Preparing opportunities, shifting atmospheres, and positioning everything for your arrival. If He gave you what you prayed for too soon, you might not have the strength to hold it. Delay is heaven's way of syncing your season with your purpose, because when it finally happens, you'll realize that no moment was wasted. Every disappointment, every detour, every delay was a setup for divine alignment. 5. Delay prepares you for impact when God finally opens the door. It won't be a small one. It'll be one that affects lives beyond your own. That's why He takes time. You're not being prepared for a moment. You're being prepared for a mission. Joseph didn't just survive the prison. He was being trained to run a palace. Moses didn't just wander in the desert. He was being shaped to lead a nation. And you're not just waiting. You're being prepared to walk in destiny that will impact generations after you. When it happens, it'll happen suddenly, but the preparation took years. And when you finally step into that promise, you'll thank God for every delay that protected you, every closed door that redirected you, and every silent season that strengthened you. Final message, child of God. Your delay is not a detour, it's divine design. The waiting season may not make sense right now, but one day, you'll look back and see that every slow chapter was part of the story of your acceleration. The same God who wrote your beginning is faithful to finish your ending. And everything in between is preparation for His glory. So if you're waiting, don't grow weary. Keep trusting. Keep sowing. Keep believing. Because when God turns delay into destiny, He doesn't just restore your time. He redeems your purpose, and when that moment arrives, you'll know why the wait was worth it.